Party people. Well, welcome once again to the Party of One podcast, the actual play RPG podcast where the gaming table is always set for two. I'm your host, as always, Jeff Stormer. This week on the show, I am joined by Caleb, Zane, Huett for a game of Triangle Agency. Triangle Agency is a role-playing game of paranormal investigation and corporate horror inspired by stories like the SCP Foundation, Severance, The X-Files, Control, and Homestuck. It is about agents of a shadowy organization containing reality-breaking anomalies, while also trying to live like ordinary human lives. It is horrific, it is fun, it is action-packed. The game design is really clever and marries theme and mechanics really beautifully. The game is weird and chaotic, and God, I fucking love this game so much. I really think that you're going to enjoy listening to it. I had such a blast playing it. You can find more about Triangle Agency at hauntedtable.games. You can also find the game on Kickstarter, where it is currently funding, or you can check the show notes for more information. Now, before we begin, there are a few things that I want to say. First, on behalf of myself and Party of One, I want to say that we stand in full support of our friends, peers, and colleagues in the Writers Guild of America as they fight for better pay, better working conditions, and a better path forward in the industry. And furthermore, I would like to encourage you, if you're listening to this episode, you have the financial means to do so, and you'd like to support the strike, to go to bit.ly/entertainment fund and make a donation to the Entertainment Community Fund. This is a fund that specifically supports those in the cast and crew of shows that have been impacted by the writer's strike, that helps them pay bills, rent, and stay afloat while the strike is ongoing. Simply go to bit.ly/entertainment fund, select film and television, and make a donation. If you do this, send me proof of a donation of any amount to partyofonepodcast@gmail.com, and I've got some games and goodies that I can share with you. It is the least that I can do to support the strike. As always, thank you for listening and thank you for your support. And with all that said, let's go ahead and throw it over to me in the past so the team can get started with the show. Take it past me. Thanks, future me. I am so beyond excited to be sitting down with Caleb, Zane, Huett. Caleb, thank you so much for coming on Party of One.
Thank you. I've been wanting to be on the show for so long. It's so cool to be here.
I'm so excited. I'm really, really excited. I know we've been talking about this game for a little while, and it's been in my brain for months now, and I'm so excited to get to play it. So speaking of which, why don't you tell our lovely listeners at home about what we are playing this week, as well as anything else you've got going on that you might want them to know about?
Absolutely. So yes, I'm Caleb. I'm a founder of a new game studio called Haunted Table, and our first game is called Triangle Agency. It is a game of corporate horror and paranormal investigation where players take on the role of agents employed by a mysterious and mysteriously powerful company dedicated to collecting and keeping anomalies that have appeared around the world. We are, as by the time you're listening to this, we are running a Kickstarter campaign for it that you can always find at kickstarter.hauntedtable.games. And we are, we're doing so many cool things for it. We have a hardcover rulebook that we are creating for it. We have a team of 10 other writers, besides just me and my fellow designer, Sean Ireland, creating 12 missions that we will release monthly over the first year of the game's life, and then for Kickstarter backers, release as a bound edition that you can have at the table. Each of those a unique anomaly made by a different creator. We've been talking about it like a TV show you get to play at your table where a different writer handles every episode. It's going to be so cool. And on top of that, we're designing this really neat professional planner that can hold the stuff for up to 9 different characters over your time with the game. That is so beautiful and is designed by my very sweet and very talented husband, Michael Schillingberg. All of that stuff, plus free dice if you get the hardcover version of the game, and a ton of other stuff that I think everybody's going to be super excited about once they see it.
That's so sick. I've been watching all of the cool shit come out around Triangle Agency, and I've just been like, this rules. This rips. It's truly inspiring to just watch it all play out. It's so cool. And speaking of cool, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I have spent more time working on this than anything else in my whole life. So it's so nice to hear you say that. It's my first game, and I care a whole lot about it. So I'm excited that that's coming through.
And speaking of, let's go ahead and play through the game. Now, you have created an agent already. So give us the 5,000 foot pitch for the game in a nutshell.
Yeah, absolutely. So you are playing as people with powers. You've bonded with an anomaly. They're called resonance. And you have those powers, which is one part of your character build. Then you also have your reality, which is basically your character's life and their closest connections. I also sometimes describe that as your your gag, your deal that is always coming up in play for that character. And then you have your character's competency, which is the job the agency has given them. There are 9 of these. They're all very strange. And they have a set of rules that can have you receive demerits or commendations from the agency. And those rules have to be followed during roleplay, or you get those things, the demerits or commendations. In each mission, characters are trying to find an anomaly, which I believe you've made for us today. Sometimes through a mystery, sometimes through some interesting challenges. And when they find that anomaly, they can either capture or destroy it based on their decision. The agency, of course, prefers if you capture it, but sometimes destroying it is necessary.
Okay. So the structure of a game of Triangle Agency comes in 3 parts. It comes in the form of a morning meeting, an investigation, and an encounter. So, first off, I have to get to know who your character is. Talk to me about who your agent is. Give me their name, their details. What is your agent like? Introduce. Give us the opening shots of your agent's introduction.
Yeah. Okay. So Bradley Harrell, I think, is when you see him the first time, you see him at the front of a room where every single wall is covered in mirrors, and a bunch of children are doing ballet forms in front of him. Well, he looks a little harried and out of place. This is a 22-year-old guy who does not at all look like someone who would have been a dancer. I am using the reality backbone, and he is somehow in charge of a dance studio. He's got private clients, and he also gives lessons to groups and organizes a team of other dance instructors. A job that he got because of his anomaly power, Drain. The Drain anomaly is about taking or borrowing things from people. It's also about the manipulation of desire. In this case, I think when Bradley bonded with his anomaly, he accidentally killed the former instructor of this dance studio and absorbed all of her knowledge, or rather her ability, not quite her knowledge, and managed to use that to get a really sweet job that he did not really earn. And finally, my competency, which has been given to me by the agency, is intern. Interns are a very, very important part of the agency, but the most important thing about being an intern is that I cannot deny requests. If I ever do, I receive a demerit, but I get commendations for confidently failing, embarrassing myself for others' benefit, or bringing something screeching to a halt. So you'd see Bradley struggling to teach these children because he cannot verbalize any of the things he can now do very beautifully. But you and I have to figure out, I guess, my relationships.
Yes. So talk to me. So what do your relationships look like? You have a certain relationships are the things that tie you to this world. They are the people that they are the people in they are the people and places and things that like make you have a normal human life. Like the agency encourages all of our agents to have a perfectly ordinary, normal human existence. One of the highest priority things that the agency can possibly instill upon its agents, with the caveat that those relationships be severed and those lives terminated at a moment's notice.
Yeah, exactly. These are my closest relationships. My questions, which come with each reality, and in this case for the backbone reality, are: who is your successor? Who can never even remember your organization's name? And who threatens your organization's continued existence? So I have some ideas for these people, but I don't have their specifics. For successor, I was thinking that maybe there was somebody who would have gotten this job had I not stolen the power and skipped over them.
That's great.
And now they are my successor. For the person who can't remember the organization's name, I think it might be Bradley's boyfriend, who he specifically has actually not told about the organization because it would be very suspicious that he became a dance instructor suddenly, right out of school. And then who threatens the organization's continued existence. My idea for this was maybe that I have a private child client who's very famous and suspects something is up.
That's great. That's fantastic. Those are all very, very funny, and that makes me very, very happy.
So I was thinking you could fill in the blanks for those if you wanted of what they look like or who they are,
Yeah,
and what their names are.
That's great. That gives me a lot of things to play with.
I should mention, in a typical game of Triangle Agency, when we have multiple people at the table, you assign each of those relationships to someone else at the table, not just the GM. So that way, whenever a character is having a scene or a moment in their real life, everybody gets to be involved. And you get to leave, if you have a team of 3 people, you get to start the game with 4 characters to play.
That's great. That's fantastic. I really love that. All right. So we've got your character. I think that we start out our day. We start out your day-to-day life in, we start out your day. Sorry, what was your character's name?
Bradley Harrell.
Bradley Harrell. Let me write that down. So we start out with Bradley in the dance studio. You are teaching you are teaching to the best of your ability. I think that class has just let out. Sorry, continue.
I was going to say, okay, who wants to show me what first position is? That's right.
There are maybe 10 kids in this class, and between them, there are about 4 different interpretations of what first position looks like. Not that you can necessarily tell the difference, but like, it's clear that these kids, some of these kids just do not know.
I am watching all of these kids, and I have no idea which one is right. So I just like I fall back on this deep knowledge I've gathered and let myself settle into first position, and then look down at my feet, and then look up, and then I point at the kids that are doing it wrong. No, it's like this.
That's great. That's funny. And I think that like this child star whose name is, let's go Desmond. What's a good last name? What's a good star last name? Desmond Silverscreen. Desmond Silverscreen. It's a stage name.
Obviously.
You know, Desmond is in the back and like scoffs and like starts mocking some of the other kids that didn't get first position right, and it's like, yeah, everyone's doing great. Oh, great job, everybody. This is a waste of my time.
Now, Desmond, you
I should be shooting Ellen right now.
Do you have that? Do you have that on your schedule? I don't want to hold you too long. But you know that you have to be nice to everybody, and your agent said that you had to be nice.
I hate that Maureen puts that in my contract. Fine, I'll be nice. And I think that we see the rest of class go through. The kids are starting to leave. I think there are 2 or 3 kids left when one by one, I think that you turn a little bit. Like you turn on your heel just slightly. And in one of these mirrors, the entire screen goes dark. Like the entire mirror, the entire pane of glass goes dark, except for a pop-up window that says, join with computer audio, listen only.
What?
And then you turn again, and like a second window has popped up with a little white pop-up box that says, join with join with personal audio or listen only. And slowly your entire studio, every one of these mirrors has the exact same screen with the exact same little green button that you can push to join with personal audio or listen only.
I don't remember setting up smart mirrors, but I'm gonna click the join with personal audio button on the closest one to me.
There is a single giant floating eye is in the mirror and slowly appears in every one of the other mirrors. You look down just in time to see that in your hand has materialized a cup of coffee. The coffee that you can tell is so hot that like holding the handle of the mug is a little painful.
Whew. I'm gonna look around and then set it on by my feet. I'm immediately distracted by the coffee, and I set it on the ground.
What were your activities this weekend?
I played some video games.
Video games are fun. Did you relax? Was it relaxing? I bet you relaxed.
Yeah. Yes, I relaxed. Who is this?
Too short weekend. Greetings, agent. We are looking, and the agency logo pops up on screen.
Oh
Your
my god,
friends
thank god.
at
It's agency
Triangle
stuff.
Agency are requesting service on an important mission.
Oh my gosh. Every time. I look around to make sure that no kids are still in here watching.
I think that you can see out of like a window to a hallway, because I picture your studio as just one building in like a larger is like an office in a larger building. So there's like a hallway of related other office buildings, or of offices in this building, and you can see just outside the door, on his phone is Desmond Silver's screen. You can just hear the periodic muffles. So, like, he has not noticed it, but he is decidedly outside, but he seems preoccupied just letting his agent have it.
I'm gonna look up at the Triangle Agency logo and clap my hands together and say, I'll be right back. 1 second. I'm just gonna make sure. And then I sort of back away with my face toward the mirror and the coffee on the ground until I get to the door. And then I crack it open and peek out at Desmond and say, Mr. Silverscreen? I mean, Desmond, my student?
Yeah? Hold on, Marine, yeah?
We're getting close to another class, so unless you want to have a bunch of kids asking for your autograph again, you should probably head outside.
Oh my god, every kid in this town is an SOB. Alright, I'm gonna head out. If I find out that you leaked my location to the press, I will have this entire building shut down and everyone in it will be fined $1,000 minimum. I don't know money. I'm a kid.
No, of course I absolutely wouldn't. I wouldn't do that, Desmond. And
I'm very grateful that you a middle finger as he's already halfway down the hallway.
It's good class today. Oh gosh, that kid.
You close the door, and one of the mirrors has detached from the wall and is directly, like, you almost bump face first into the mirror.
Okay, Bradley. Deep breaths. What do you need from me today?
Please pay careful attention, as this operation is of the utmost importance. Do you have a pen and paper?
No, but I have a Sharpie.
Please secure a pen and paper.
Okay. I have a backpack at the edge of the room. I'm gonna rummage in it, and I find a pen, and then I find a napkin that was in there. I didn't bring any papers. I don't have any papers in here. I find a napkin, and I'm like, okay, all right, I'm ready.
And you're standing waiting for some kind of instruction, but instead the mirror just backs up and shows you. I guess this is my content warning to you and the listener for some horror imagery is about to as it unfolds.
Here we go.
Several bodies, several like older bodies. Like there is a it looks like it is in an office building not dissimilar to your, like the one that you're in right now. It looks like it is in the lobby very specifically. There's this large, you see the hardwood paneled walls, and you can see the information desk, and you see this large marble floored lobby. Right in the center of it are several bodies that have been kind of like ripped into with meat hooks and chains and are sort of dangling. It looks like they have been like partially pulled apart and rended, and it is just this strange, grotesque display that is like dangling in an office lobby.
Oh, it's one of these.
It is indeed one of these. Great observation, intern.
Thank you. Oh gosh, that's really gross.
And And I think that, like, as you are saying that, several other mirrors have, like, detached and are now kind of twirling around you, giving you, like, what I can only describe as a 360-degree Google Street View of this lobby.
Thank you, but I really didn't need this.
Please analyze the details within for maximum understanding of the scenario at hand.
Bradley has one eye open, and I've got my pen on my napkin, and because I am required to analyze the details because I was given an order, I'm like looking really closely at everything, and I'm just writing on the napkin, really nasty, many people dead.
And I think like the voice finally, like, the mirrors come back and they come up with like a Google map, and it's got little like dots of like different locations, and they are all around Granford University, which is like a like a school and surrounding neighborhood of Granford in the city that you're in. It's a college campus, like it's like many other college campuses across the country, and they are just showing similar grotesque and it pauses for a second, and you see like the ... on the mirror. You hear as if talking to someone, as if talking to a presence off screen. What are we calling these things? Murder displays. We're calling them we didn't come up with a better. Several similar murder displays have been seen in several locations around Granfield University. We suspect anomaly involvement, and we are requiring an agent investigate a potential anomaly appearance.
Absolutely. Am I going to have to go to Granford because I dropped out of there and I don't really want to run into anybody if I can help it.
We understand the discomfort you may be feeling at setting foot on a place where you left in disgrace and shame. Yes.
Okay. Thank you for understanding and then being clear.
The agency thanks you for your service and wants to emphasize that you are taking the steps necessary to move forward in your career with the agency.
You're right. I'm going to do a good job. I don't just want to be teaching kids forever. Something that I barely know how to do. So I'm on it. And I'll go investigate these murder displays by myself.
And with that, all of the mirrors just collapse onto the floor. One of them cracks. It is a ginormous clamoring just in time for Rory. She is your successor at the dance club. Pops her head in. Were you fucking moving the mirrors again?
No, I wasn't. Hello, Rory.
Hi.
I was.
Do you need help resetting the mirror? Okay, that one's broken. Do you need help resetting the mirrors?
Yes, because the students moved them. I didn't move them. So
it was Desmond, wasn't it?
Oh my god. Yes. Have you ever had to actually teach him in a class? Because I have no idea what to do with that kid.
I just took his check, and I swear the process took 4 hours.
I
mean, I looked at the clock. It was 1.5 minutes, but it felt like it was 4 hours.
Why is he in the beginner kids class? If he's already doing this.
I think he's in a movie. I think he's in a movie called Kid Baryshnikov.
Oh, that makes sense. So he hasn't ever really danced before.
No, I think that he's putting on a lot of airs.
Well, here, that's maybe an idea. How about we send a message to his agent and see if we could move him to private lessons instead?
I mean, if you want to take on private lessons, that'd be great. I don't want to be in a room alone with the kid. He's an asshole. He's likely to throw something at me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if you don't want to do it, then I'll do it. I'll do it. It'll help the other kids. So.
I mean, you don't gotta. We can keep him in the regular class. I mean, if you really want to, like, I'm not gonna force it, but you know what?
You see Bradley, like, completely short-circuiting because he had convinced himself that this was, like, necessary and is trying to be in charge of a place when he has there's no charisma in this boy. And he goes, yeah, I do think it's a good idea. And I will I will do it. I will do it. So make it happen, Rory.
Okay. All right, I will make it happen. That's great. Cool. Okay. Yeah, I will. You see, you had a class with Des. Why don't you go get a coffee or a burger or something? Treat yourself to some comfort food. I will take care of the mirrors.
That's a really good idea, and that burger might take me 7 to 8 hours to get and eat.
Honestly, take the rest of the day. I can get some work done.
Great.
It's
Great.
tax season.
I'm already
really
scooping up my backpack, putting the napkin back in it. I will see you soon. Thank you so much for taking over while I'm out there.
As the door closes, I can't believe that I don't own this, but
whew. Another good day, Bradley. Another good day.
So, we cut. Did I say Granfield? I already lost the name of the college that
Granford, I think is what you said.
Thank you.
Yes, so
that's a thing I should write down.
One of the I want to visit one of the pre-existing locations at Granford, if I can.
Yeah, so Granford, one of the pre-existing locations, it is largely closed off with police tape, but it also seems like it's been closed off, but it seems like investigations have all wrapped up and that everyone is kind of left, so the place is fairly on its own. And this is an outdoor amphitheater is where we are specifically. It is kind of the closest place to your office, because it's connected to the downtown district, so you're able to kind of get there fairly quickly, and this is sort of on the outskirts between the downtown district of town and Granford University's campus. So you are looking at an outdoor amphitheater. Everything has been closed off, but also it's an outdoor amphitheater, so it's as closed off as an outdoor amphitheater can be.
Right. So I think as I come up and I see the police tape and I see how exposed it's going to be, Bradley gets a little bit nervous. I want to look around and see if there's anybody who is official around, if there is a police officer nearby or a detective or something like that.
I think what you see is there are two beat cops sitting. One of them is on the hood of a police car, and the other is in the driver's seat. They are both eating hamburgers. Neither of them are actively paying attention to the crime scene because, why would they? That would require caring and loving the job or wanting to, protect and serve. So they are both focused on eating hamburgers.
I think because Bradley doesn't have any of this, I want to use one of my anomaly powers here. Okay. I have the ability Borrow. You may choose a feature of a mundane target and take it for yourself. Their face, voice, love, fingerprints. Now you have it and they do not. So I'm wondering if I can take the I'm trying to think of a good phrase for it, but they're one of their air of authority, the energy of
yes, yep,
supposed
you're
to be here.
You're taking their badge, for lack of a better way to put it.
Yeah, exactly. So I have to roll duplicity, which for me I have points in, and which means that I don't have burnout, and I roll 6d4. Every roll in Triangle Agency is 6d4.
That's really, I saw that and it was just that's really funny. It's just great.
And yet, to explain to everybody so they understand what we're doing, basically I'm looking for 3s. If I have at least 1 3, I've succeeded. And more 3s means less chaos for you, because every die that is not a 3 gives you chaos, which you can spend to make my life harder. I would describe it, if you've played a variety of role-playing games before, you've probably seen mixed successes. We don't really have that exact concept here because it doesn't necessarily happen when you roll, but almost every roll is a mixed success, with the exception of 3 3s exactly, which gets you some special bonus points. It's called Transcendence. So let's see what I get. I am rolling. Well, speaking of, I got 3 3s right off the bat.
No way.
Yes.
All right.
So I started.
You enter Transcendence, which is the universe aligns, and you talk to me about what that means and what you earn for that.
Yeah, so with Transcendence, you get a couple of choices. One of those choices is that you can make your roll have as like count as having as many 3s as you want. I could say any number and it's there. One of them is I could recharge my quality assurances. One thing we haven't gotten to yet, because I just got the best roll possible, is that you can adjust rolls by spending your qualities. That's kind of how your stats work in this game. And I can recharge those when I get Transcendence. And then the last one is I can earn 3 commendations right away without having to do the other abilities. In this case, I think I want to take the 3 commendations because I already have 3 3s and that's all I need right now. So I have some commendations, which means in this case, I connect directly to the agency and I'm able to sort of become the employee of the moment. I think visually the way this happens is you see Bradley is like looking at this police officer kind of crouching. I'm kind of crouching behind a pole and like looking at him eating. And I reach out with my anomaly and I am like accessing the agency's power. And I'm like totally doing that like fidgety, like nervous thing that Bradley does. And then a second later, I like my whole body is shifting. Maybe for a second, the pupils of my eyes are little red triangles. And you see as I adapt this kind of confident, sneering knowledge that I am supposed to be there. And because I have 3 3s, I can pick some additional abilities for borrow. I can pick between the target keeps a flawed version of what's borrowed instead of losing it entirely. I can keep that the effect lasts an additional hour, or I can share what's borrowed with one other target. I think I want to spend it on 2 hours of this, like this sort of confident I'm supposed to be there thing, because I think it's funnier if this police officer completely loses the sense that he's supposed to be there.
That's great. I think what happens is I think that what happens is like the cop in the driver's seat like looks around mid-bite, starts up the car and kind of like goes a little bit, and the other cop that is sitting on the hood kind of like almost flies over the roof, like does a little bit of like tumble onto the windshield, kind of slaps it a few times, like, hey! Finally, like, as they pauses, goes, we're going, get in the car then! And like, they both get in the car and kind of drive off, and you are left with the authority of a police officer and the purpose of being there.
I'm gonna go over to where the police officer who was on the hood of the car dropped his sunglasses and put them on, tuck my hands into my pockets, and then confidently duck under the caution tape to head into the amphitheater.
What you find waiting there immediately is there's another one of these murder displays that has just like not been taken down, not been touched, just left up, even though you know, like, and so what you are staring at in this moment is a person is like a man in a business suit, older gentleman in a business suit with metal cables in his elbows, wrists, knees, ankles, and the back of his neck that are dangling from... when you look up, you actually can't quite tell where they're dangling from. But he seems to be standing there. He seems to be standing there as though, like a marionette. You can see blood trailing from each of the entry points, and this person has been made into a marionette puppet.
I, sort of step forward and as close as I can get without the blood dripping on me. I want to go directly for this. Is it just the one guy in this place?
Well, that's an interesting question, because as you look directly at this puppet, he starts to dance. He starts to do a little marionette puppet dance. You know, he's doing some hand claps. And I am going to ask you for a roll.
Yeah.
To resist being entranced by a particularly alluring anomaly.
Yeah. Well, that sounds like professionalism to me.
It does.
And I have none of it. So I'm operating with burnout on professionalism, which means that I have -1/3 on whatever I roll. The only thing it can't cancel is Transcendence. But everything else it can mess up. So let's see how I do. I'm going to try to... So it's like dancing in front of me to try to mesmerize me. And I'm going to try to protect... I'm going to try to make my sunglasses that I put on like resistant to this effect. Like I'm going to try to switch it, make them extra shaded. Okay, I got 2 3s -1, so you'll get 5 chaos, but I do succeed.
Okay, so I think that like you're watching this, you're seeing this unfold, right? You're seeing this play out. And what you then hear, you the thing that kind of like catches your attention, that keeps you from getting in trance, is you hear the creaking of the individual like wires and kind of the parts. Like you hear it creaking, and you hear the sounds that go into like operating a puppet, especially like a large human-sized puppet. And it's then that you hear like a second set of that noises, just in time to turn around to see like another one of these puppets, this one holding a length of rebar.
Oh no.
And with what looks like a jester's cap made of human skin.
And you see, like, completely by reflex, Bradley shifts into second position.
And is holding the rebar with both hands and is swinging it from side to side. You have been the goal here was to draw you into a Punch and Judy, and now you have seen the Judy, and here's the punch.
Okay, so I haven't fully lost my ability to control myself thanks to shifting the glasses. I think you see they just for fun, they change into triangular shades as well, very dramatic anime style. And then as they come toward me, I am actually going to not run away. You're gonna see that this bolstered confidence and this and Bradley tapping into what he knows of his powers. He looks a little nervous, but he sort of settles into place, lifts his arms up a little bit, in kind of what is supposed to be a defensive fighting position, but is a little too gentle. It's a little more like a dance move, and then just like waits for them to get up to him and see what happens.
I think that like it approaches and it is smashing, like it is swinging from side to side, and it gets up to you. And I think that like you standing there, I think there is.
I'm gonna let it hit me if it wants to. I'm gonna let it.
I'm gonna say it hits you once, and you're gonna take 2 harm.
Okay, so that is gonna trigger the ability I was hoping to do, which is my universal recipient ability. I don't have any persistence, so this is a risky roll. But whenever I'm harmed, I can roll persistence, and on a success, I can select something else to take the harm instead of me.
Great.
So I'm going to roll persistence with a -1. Okay, I got 2 3s, so you got 5 more chaos. But
great, I'm loving this.
I succeed. So there's 2 things I want to try, and this will be my introduction to everybody of a skill that we have not published publicly yet. So that one, I only had the 1 3 and I can't adjust it. So I select a nearby living human or anomaly other than what harmed me. They're harmed instead, and I'm unhurt. So I'm going to have that hit me directly, but instead of affecting me, the Judy behind me is going to feel that hit. And then I'm going to try my other power, which is called Sympathetic Pain. This is an ability that actually evolves from Universal Recipient. And it says, whenever something harms you, even if that harm is redirected or resisted, or leads to your death, you can roll Attentiveness, and on a success, you gain the skill, ability, power, or circumstance they used to harm you. Write it down. You can use it once, anytime, on something else.
Great.
So I'm going to roll Attentiveness, and this one I do have points in. And I got another Transcendence.
Incredible.
So, For each additional 3, you can use that ability an additional time at any point in the future. So I'm trying to think, what is the skill or ability I would receive from getting hit by a piece of rebar?
So I think this is actually fascinating. Because this is a valuable clue. I think what's about to happen is like a very valuable clue is about to unfold.
Okay.
So do you still take, I guess my question is, do you still take the 2 harm or do you undo the 2 harm?
The 2 harm gets sent to the Judy behind me, but I gain whatever it was that was used to hurt me. I can do it now.
Wow, that's cool. Because I gotta I know what I want it to be, like what the power is, because it's part of this is a sub anomaly of the larger anomaly, and I think this gives you a little bit of insight. Judy's head explodes, or the other puppet's head explodes. It just scanner style kablowy.
So cool to imagine the rebar connecting with my head, and I don't move at all, but it just boom behind me.
And the power that you pick up in this moment is making something a show. Like,
okay,
that head shouldn't have exploded like that. There is like a larger than life element to what just occurred. It was almost theatrical. It looked staged. It looked like there were special effects in play.
Okay.
Something, whatever this anomaly is specifically, and it is in part the alluring aspect of the other puppet that was destroyed, but it's also tying into this violence. There's a showiness to this. There is an expressiveness to this. There is an art to what is unfolding here, and you have gained access to understanding how to make things into a production.
Okay, so with Transcendence, what I think I'm going to do that's fun here, instead of the commendations, I'm going to say just a ridiculously big number, that I can do this for the rest of this mission. I can do this 100 times.
Great. That's great.
And that'll be my Transcendence reward for this one. So I've got the ability, and I can do it up to 100 times. So I think what's going to happen is as soon as this one explodes behind me, I want to try and see what happens if I direct that energy at the one that's still alive. Like if I try just like looking at it and snapping my fingers.
Make me a roll. I think as you snap your fingers,
it's okay for controlling it to be hard. Yeah.
I think what happens, because you're using this power, I do think something happens immediately. You snap your fingers and it taps its foot to a beat. Like the one snap, it immediately like taps its foot on cue to that snap. That said, it's still lurching towards you to take another swing. Like it is clear that you are keyed into whatever show it is part of, and like part of that is like the rhythm and the performance that goes into it goes into its movements that you are keyed into. To further exert that control would require a roll. But like you have access, like you have connected to the rhythms of this thing and can exploit that as you will.
Okay, I think I want to try to see if, like, now that I have set it moving, I want to see if I can like easily dance around it when it tries to hit me, since I know the rhythm. And I like, is that something that I could do right away normally, or is it something that I would need to have help with?
I think it's something you can do with this new power that you've unlocked.
Okay. So as it comes at me, I'm sort of judging around and I'm like, okay, I don't really have anything on me that's especially dangerous, but I do have an idea for how I might be able to make this like useless for a while. And I'm going to pull up my only ability I haven't used yet, which is, would you like some more? Mm-hmm. The skill says, to you, desire is a bucket. Poke a hole in it by saying, would you like some more, and roll empathy. On a success, the target you're focusing on is very interested in more of the last thing they enjoyed, as identified by you and the holder of the character. This doesn't create an addiction or compulsion, but makes that thing, if it's available, into leverage or distraction far beyond its worth. So I'm thinking, because I got it dancing, I'm wondering if I could use my ability to make it really want to just keep dancing until somebody can come clean this up later.
I like that. I really, really like that.
So I'm going to roll empathy, which I do have some points in. and I got a single 3. So you have now gotten another 5 chaos.
That's great, because I'm about to blow a remarkable amount of chaos, and so that is nice to have.
So you have another 5 chaos, and I'm able to make it get really, really interested in dancing. So I'm going to tap into my power, and this is my like personal power, and give it the desire to just keep dancing in this amphitheater until somebody can come handle it later.
And it is exactly doing that. You have effectively dealt it harm, and this minor anomaly required 1 harm to be destabilized. So like it is dancing, and as it dances, you actually see those strings start to weaken, and eventually they snap, and just in a pile, in a heap in front of you, this thing collapses, and with the sound of the thud, you look around, and you are in what looks like a small art studio. Not even like a whole art studio, you are in a kiln. You know, there are the racks, there are the racks, you can see the heaters, and you are in a kiln. There is a spinning wheel in front of you.
Am I inside of the actual literal like fiery kiln, or am I in the like studio near the kiln?
I think the Jeff Stormer answer is I think it's a little bit of both. I think
so it's like an abstract space.
Yeah, you have blinked into an abstract space that is like just like a collection of like it's a vibe is where you are. Like you are in a workshop. There is metalworking equipment nearby, and you are being greeted by a question. I think like there is a question like that is like pounding in the back of your mind as you are hearing this, and it is, what do you want to make?
Oh gosh. I'm looking around, and Bradley just like rubs the back of his head with the like almost migraine like pain of that question, just like ugh. Is looking around, says, I mean, I've taken a couple of pottery classes, but I'm not super good at making anything that I'm imagining yet. And
I think as you say that, like the pottery wheel starts to spin, and you see hands start to like sculpt the pottery wheel, and slowly like the smell that hits your nose is like melting fat. And like it is spinning, and it is spinning, and it is spinning faster and faster and faster, and then you blink again, and you are back in the amphitheater.
A shiver. Okay. All right. Come on, Bradley, this is normal. This is what they're always like, right?
Your phone is buzzing.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna reach into my pocket and pull out my phone and answer it and say, hello, this is Bradley, and everything's normal.
All right, that was a weird way to answer the phone, but hey, where are you right now?
Normal. I'm the normal places.
What do you mean normal place? What does that mean? Why? This is why I don't talk to little people. Oh my god.
Oh, Desmond, is that you?
Yeah, who do you have caller ID? Who do you think it was?
I'm sorry, I didn't look. I just answered my phone.
I obviously. Oh my god.
Can I help you with something, Desmond?
Yes. I can't believe I'm about to ask this. Can you give me, can I hire you for a ride? I only have like 4 people in my phone, and 3 of them have said no.
Oh, you need like a ride in the car?
Oh, you need a ride in the car? Yes, I need a ride in the car. What do you think I would need a ride in?
Well, I just am surprised you don't have a driver.
He quit.
But of course I will. I'm sorry. No, it's okay.
No, he quit. He quit. There. I said it. Are you happy?
No, I'm very sorry that he quit on you suddenly, it sounds like. But of course I'll come get you. I say, you see Bradley is like making a face like up to the sky, like in a I know that the agency will demerit me if I don't do this, but it's like but yeah, of course I'll.
You see the sun shining like a triangle for just a moment before it blinks back into the north, like a circular shape. All right, I think you have to give this kid a ride.
Yeah, so I'm going to get my car. Bradley has not had this job for very long, and before this was not making very much money. So it is like an inherited, like, shitty minivan that his family had for a long time that he's still driving around the city. Where are you? Can you send me a pin or something?
I'll send you a pin. It's he's on campus. He's actually like not far from where you're at. He is he's in front of a he's in front of a cafe, and that's about all you got. It's in front of a cafe. It's not far from you. It's not the easiest place to drive to, but like he's nearby, and he sent you a ping. And where he's headed is a Work as One co-working space. Work as One is a venture capital backed co-working company that has, obnoxious co-working spaces.
I'm gonna get in my car. I'm gonna head to the coffee shop and on the way look, all these one-way streets, and they were all so small. I hate this part of town. Sorry, my blinker isn't working. I reach out and wave my hand. As
you get into the car, I'm going to briefly call out, just for the listener and for you, I'm going to briefly call some things out real quick. So a way that the game works that I really love is that as I collect chaos, I get to just spend those on weird things that happen. So I do want to emphasize that, like, I briefly spent 8 chaos points on a displace, which is I bring you into a surreal space created by the anomaly. I also spent 3 points on a reality trigger, which is I activate a feature of reality, which is one of your connections, one of your relationships, one of your people related to the dance agency, like, comes to you with a request.
Yes.
And I am now spending 2 points. As you get into the car, you are listening to a pop song, and it strikes you like the lyrics of the pop song are described like. You've heard some pop songs with weird, morbid lyrics before. Who hasn't? Rarely does a pop song just turn into like a 4-minute spoken word section about breaking into someone's house and stabbing them to death.
Oh my God. I'm gonna realizing that this is broadcasting potentially everywhere. And this is a station I listen to a lot. I'm gonna pull out my phone and find the number that I always call whenever they're doing a giveaway and hit it and try to call, the station while I'm driving.
I am gonna say, so what happens is you don't get a busy signal, you just hear this song. You hear like another different song in another different style. Like that was a pop song that was playing that. Now you're hearing like a pop country song, with the southern twang. Also describing this in lurid detail. You're not going to be able to get through unless you have a way of getting through.
Yeah. All right. I am going to try. Okay. I'm wondering if I could use my flexibility to ask the agency to try to take this call and shift it to a more official line at the station.
That sounds great. Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely doable.
So I'm going to roll flexibility. I got 4 3s.
Incredible.
So you get 2 chaos. 4 3s is equivalent to 1 3, except that you get 2 chaos this time instead of 5. And I could spend a flexibility to change that to stable, but I only have 1, so I don't want to do it. Sorry. Flexibility is, I messed up my own stats. I think flexibility is the whole category, but the I'm trying to think of a good. I rolled 4 either way, but let's say initiative, so it would have reduced it, so you get 3 chaos. Actually,
that feels good.
So I'll try to give that a clear. I will roll initiative instead, actually, and get. So that means you get 3 chaos. And
alrighty.
And so yeah, I'm gonna reach into my reality altering power through the agency, which I don't know if we've called this out, but your basic qualities you can roll at any time to ask the agency to shift reality for you. And so I'm going to shift over that to a different phone line, hopefully one that gets somebody who's more important in the station.
I have been waiting to have exactly 5 chaos points in front of me for a very long time. And this is timed out perfectly. You get on the phone. This is Roy Brickman, station manager for
We all know the radio station, Roy. There's an emergency.
Roy, okay, they're rude. For one thing, rude. Yeah, what do you want?
I don't know if you're listening to your own station right now, but you need to shut it off.
I turn it on. The hell is this?
This is what I'm saying. It's a second ago it was talking about cutting phone lines so nobody could call out of the house.
Huh. This is a prank? Are you pranking me right now?
No, I'm not pranking you. I'm just a listener that happens to have your personal cell phone number, and I just thought maybe you would want to know that was happening, and you should probably turn it off as soon as you can.
How did this even get on here?
I don't know.
Looking for a second, you hear shuffling, and you hear him pop open a CD. This is a radio station that still uses CDs. That's charming. Pops in a CD. What the hell are the work as one sessions? What the hell is this?
The work as one sessions?
But all right, yeah, we'll pull this. Hey, pull this off. Put Old Town Road on. Whatever. Thank you for calling in and pointing this out. I don't know what happened. If you stay on the line, we can get you tickets to FanFest. Is that something you'd be interested in?
That would be
Stay on the line to give them your information. We'll get you tickets to FanFest.
Sure. Thank you. I'll put it on speaker. I would like tickets to FanFest. Set it on the middle console as I go to get the kid. Did it actually turn off on the radio?
It did actually. It switched over. It did. It switched over. Due to your efforts, coupled with the agency bending reality to make that happen. You get it turned off. You pull up just in time. I think simultaneously, like as you are pulling up, you hear yourself come off hold. Hello, thank you for waiting. Would you give us your address? We can ship you your tickets to FanFest. At that moment, the car door opens. Desmond sits down, brushes your phone, smacks the glove compartment, hits the ground,
cracks and turns off immediately.
Yeah.
No, I want to roll attentiveness. I want to try to make it. I wanted to reflexively try to make sure that I was paying close enough attention to catch it.
I like that. I really like that. Give me a roll.
Calling for as it's falling, and I see that I'm not going to make it. I'm going to try to adjust reality by the 1 second it would have taken. I got 2 3s, so that's 4 chaos for you. But whew, I catch my phone and then bring it up to my face and say, I live at 123 Wise Oak Road, and my name is Bradley Harrell, and I would like for there to be 2 tickets for me and my boyfriend, please.
We could do that. That sounds great. Have awesome. A great day.
Thank you so much. And then hang up. Hi, Desmond.
Did you buy tickets to FanFest?
No, they were gifted to me because I'm just that important.
You were gifted tickets to FanFest?
I completely stunned because that was supposed to be the big drop. Was like, yes.
And you oh my God, you thought that was a cool thing. Oh my God, you thought that was cool.
Doesn't matter.
Today's gotten even better. You know what? Everything that happened with the drivers in the past, because this is the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Bradley actually kind of shuts up at that. As he's like sitting down in the car and like saying that, Bradley doesn't answer at all. His hand just kind of clenches the steering wheel a little bit.
You've got the new address, and it is the Work as One co-working center that is opened right at the heart of campus.
When I see the thing shift over a few seconds later to give me the directions there, I make the connection between the Work as One on the call that was on the CD and this, and turn to Desmond before I start the car at all and say, so from a college to a co-working space, really grown up day for you.
Oh yeah, this is actually cool. Like, I thank you for asking. This is super cool. I didn't have anybody else to talk about this with. I got a speaking gig. Like they're it's like a huge licensing thing. They want me to come and give a talk about, I guess, creativity or some bullshit. It's super cool, but it's like happening like right now. It's in like 5 minutes.
Okay. Obviously we're headed that way. But are you sure you need a gig like that? Aren't you kind of more of a screen guy?
Yeah, but this is like an opportunity to become like a thought leader, you know? This is like a segue from doing like what people tell me to do to like and you feel like you feel almost like your car's heaters are going on overdrive, just a blast of hot air on your face, and you smell clay and fat. This is a chance to make what I want to create in the world. You know what I mean? Do you understand that? Have you ever like wanted to create something?
No, but I do understand what you mean. Okay, we're gonna head that way, and this might sound weird, but would you mind being really careful while you're there? Especially if the rest of your staff isn't here. I'm not really a super great bodyguard, so just be careful. You never know with these new crowds. And I'm driving, trying to turn the AC down.
Kind of sits for a second. I really do. I really appreciate that. Nobody's ever told me to be careful before.
How old is Desmond? I realize that I haven't.
I think shitty 13-year-old.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. I think what we the expression of that question is we see that Bradley has not actually really thought very hard about how young he is until this moment, and kind of sighs a little bit and is like, "Yeah, and I'll come with you to the gig so that I can just make sure everything goes right."
That'd be really cool. I appreciate that. And I'm sorry about the crack about FanFest. It actually is, it's dope as shit. I wish I was supposed to be there. I was supposed to give a whole show, but like they kind of pulled me off in the last minute, and I was honestly kind of annoyed about it because like, have you seen the food spread that they do? It's all like local vendors. It's all it's not important. No,
I mean technically I had never mind. We're almost here.
It doesn't matter. It's fine.
Yeah, you see Bradley almost offer a ticket and then have a flash on his face of disgust of like, I don't want to spend that time with this 13-year-old. I'm supposed to take my boyfriend. And so he does not follow through on the invitation. In a way that's probably pretty obvious because he's not very secretive. But he goes, all right, okay, well, let's check out this work as one, as I sort of drive up and awkwardly parallel park.
Yeah, you pull up and there's a crowd, like it's a speaking event, like this place is newly opened and it is very exciting. So there's like a little bit of a crowd. Desmond kind of pops out and immediately kind of starts hamming it up a little bit. But also like as he steps out, you notice like a change in his demeanor a little bit, and he starts like beelining for the actual co-working, like inside the building.
Yeah. Oh, hey, come on. No hurry.
Yeah. People. Right. I gotta take some photos. You're right. I don't know what got into me.
Yeah. Take some photos. I'm going to tap into that power of the show.
Okay.
A little bit. And I want to, that I borrowed. I want to see if I can take that energy that I had earlier with the dancing and like part the crowd intentionally. Like I'm testing it to see like what kind of stuff it does. Can I make them like move?
Yes, I am gonna say yes because there's a way that looks that is extremely cool in my head, and that's the most important guide.
Right? Yeah, because I'm thinking they like almost marching band style are moving out of the way of us, but in like a perfect like symmetrical formation.
What I was thinking was like they move in that perfect formation, that marching band formation, and what they do is like. You see, like, you can perceive it with your mind's eye almost, like if you were to consciously kind of envision where it would be, you almost see a guardrail forming in your mind's eye.
Yes, yeah.
Like, you are turning this, you are, like, the show that you are conjuring here is a Hollywood premiere, and, like, you are watching people form into the behind-the-railing interviewers at a Hollywood premiere. All in perfect unison at the same time.
Yes. As I feel that settle, I'm gonna go, oh, wow. Whew. Bradley is not used to feeling this much power over people. that kind of like instinctual control in that way, instead of just borrowing, is like a very strange feeling.
You make your way inside, and it's a co-working space. Like it's a creative focused co-working space. You see a lot of like artists and stuff inside. And you just see like there's a clear like interview area where they're going to have Desmond speak.
I'm going to use my like 2 hours of borrowed authority to like very brazenly look around. Like in a way that would be really weird for a normal person to do it. I'm going to like open doors, open shelves and desks, like look over what people are doing, with that authority of like, I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to do this.
The things that you find are a lot of art. Like on the surface, it's like a group of artists got a co-working space, right? Like, and you see like a lot of photos of like artists, like the same artists together. Like you see a lot of photos of like smiling artists, like there's some painters, there's a couple podcasters, like it's a group of artists have gotten together and invested in this like space. And like, they did it just as Work as One was opening a location on campus. So they invested in this co-working space. And like the deeper that you get, the more that you notice, you see them stand, you see a lot of photos of artists standing with their work, right? Like there's a painter standing with like a mural that they drew on the side of a building. And the more doors that you open, the deeper that you look around, the more that starts to twist. Suddenly that same painter is like in front of the painting of a crime scene, of like the site of a murder. And like it starts to like shift and like things just start to take on this macabre edge to them of the paintings and the sculptures and the like you hear in an editing room, there's a pair of headphones that are playing music and it sounds like you hear a blood curdling screech just barely audibly through the headphones. And like, it's just starting to get, but like, you also notice that like, the other thing that you notice is timestamps, right? Like, things are dated. As a lot of, your average art exhibit will be like, so-and-so sculpture, January 3rd. And at first, like you look through them and it's, January 3rd, March 18th, October 1st, like there's months in between each given thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
As you keep going, you're noticing more and more like October 18th, November 7th, November 13th, November 15th, November 15th, November 16th, November 16th, November 17th.
They're getting closer together.
There's an incredible like increase in the speed at which these pieces, as they have becoming more and more morbid and macabre and like strange things.
What day is it right now?
It is December 3rd.
This has been going on for too long. Okay. All right. I am going to look. So I'm imagining that I've been looking around this like this set of hallways with these different side rooms for this stuff to be done. And I am going to, when I hit that revelation, kind of move back toward the front just to like check on how Desmond is setting up here. Like just making sure that everything looks like out here at the front, it's normal for long enough for me to maybe dig deeper into this place.
Yeah, everything seems in order. You do see that Desmond is like starting to set up for an interview segment. And you notice that here's what you see, I think. You notice that like they set like Desmond is off to the side. Desmond is eating some donuts off of craft services. And like they have set up one of the stage lights and like there is a Desmond had like a makeup kit and you notice that the makeup is starting to boil as if it was being cooked by a microwave.
I'm gonna slam
it was
that
just
makeup
resting.
kit
It was
closed.
like resting on I should specify. It's like resting on like a director's chair, like where the interview would be happening, and like the makeup has started to boil. Like the stage lights seem to be straight up microwave cookery.
Yeah, I'm gonna slam it shut, trying to touch it as little as I can, and then try to grab try to use somebody's jacket to pick it up and get it to the trash can.
I think you're able to do that. You're gonna take either one harm or you can bend the rules a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'm thinking, what if I don't have anything in this, but it sounds like maybe I could use persistence to like ask for like a tougher skin for this moment.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So I'm gonna try rolling persistence with burnout, and I got 1 3 after the 2, so I have 2 3s minus 1. You get 5 chaos, but I don't take the harm this time. and I'm going to try to dump it into a trash can. You see that Bradley puts his hands up to his forehead after that. His finger is like an extra few centimeters away from his forehead than normal, which feels a little weird. Okay, so we've got shows, performances. We've got heat happening. Okay. I'm gonna head back the way that I'd gone as the things were getting closer and closer together. And I want to see if this is happening to a lot of different artists, but I want to see if there's any particular artist, especially I'm looking for someone who's related to pottery in this area, if one of them shows up more than normal. And on top of that, even if that's not there, I want to try to find if there is a like connected pottery studio in this place, or a place where it's displayed at least.
You do eventually. You don't find necessarily like there's a sculptor. There's actually like 2 or 3. There's like this 12-person like arts collective, right? Like it's an arts commune collective, and like there's like 1 or 2 sculptors in there. There's like a person that does specialize in pottery, but like you also do find a pottery workshop, and like you smell the clay, and you see like blocks of molding clay on the outside of it, and you see the door dangling open, and like you peek inside and you see that same workshop. It's you see the kiln in the back of the room. There are like photo negatives on the walls. There's like developing fluid. Like this is. And in the middle of the room, there is a pottery wheel.
Okay. I am going to step up to the wheel. I'm going to step up to the wheel, and I am going to lay my hand on the metal of the wheel on top. I want to touch it and see if it's hot.
It starts to spin, and it starts to heat up, and you smell that burning flesh smell again.
Okay. So I'm realizing in this moment that we haven't talked about the devices, the like triangle agency devices. And we can talk about whether I have one, because we haven't gone back to the office, or not. But the 2 tools that are typically available to an agent are the normal briefcase and the ripple gun. The normal briefcase being if I can figure out the anomalies deal enough to try to get it like calmed, exhausted, or distracted, I can collect it in that briefcase and take it back to the agency. The ripple gun is, as long as I can identify it and can see it, I can fire the ripple gun to destroy the anomaly, basically. So how do we think? We haven't talked about me going back to the agency. Do we think I need to like adjust reality to get those on me now? Or did I have them in my car? What do you think?
I like having them in your car. I think that's funny. I think that's appropriate. And I feel like I think that's a good... That feels good. And I especially like the idea that, like, I'm thinking this through. I think I'm changing my mind. I think I want you to rewrite reality.
Okay. I know. I think that's fine, because I think I didn't prepare for it ahead of time. And I like, I'm thinking it would be initiative again, probably, which I don't have any of. So I'm going to try to like pull it directly from space so I don't have to go like, oh, I forgot to go back to the agency. And I'm gonna try to roll, and I completely failed. So I'm realizing I have potentially the anomaly right in front of me, and I want to make sure I can destroy it. So I am reaching like behind my back and trying to catch, like with both hands, reaching behind my back and trying to catch like the ripple gun in one hand and the normal briefcase in the other, like they were always there. And I try to rewrite reality, and I'm completely whiff. I fail. So you get 6 chaos, and you get to make a move on me too, because I failed.
I think that what happens is the door closes. Your gear is there. You're able to get it, but the door closes behind you. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Oh my god.
And emerging partially like hands on the end of multi-part boom arms, like kind of standing up. The neck's also similarly kind of like expanding and telescoping out. 3 violent podcasting things, these murder displays, but in the form of podcasters talking to each other about they are drafting parties that you are invited to that you don't want to attend. Have started to like lurch towards you as the spinning wheel is spinning faster and faster and faster, and suddenly like oh my God, the photos start to develop around you, and on computer screens like Audacity and Reaper windows open up and audio starts flashing, and the words on the photos and the waveforms in Audacity all ask the question. Every piece of this room asks you the question, what do you want to create?
Bradley looks completely stuck by this question. He starts babbling. I don't know. I don't make things. I just kind of copy. I don't and in this moment, what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull out my the one thing I haven't used yet, which is my competency requisition. All interns are given a packet of blank name tags. Once per mission, you can write the name of someone you met today on a name tag and apply it somewhere on your person. Everyone except other agents will treat you as the named person for as long as you bear it. I am going to grab that pen out of my backpack. I'm going to grab that name tag and I'm going to write Desmond Silverscreen and slap it on my chest and immediately go, no, you can't. You don't want to hurt me. I am a creator. I'm a star. Look at me. I'm in movies.
And like all three of the this is such a good play. I'm not gonna make you roll. I think all three of the shambling corpses straighten up. Two of them like, yo, we got Desmond Silverscreen on the mic. We are so excited to have you on the show. Like, this is such a pleasure. Oh my God, this is such a great opportunity for the co-working space. The wheel is spinning faster and faster. Like, Mr. Silverscreen, what do you want to create? Like, what can we help you create?
Having forestalled the immediate danger, there's a little bit of relaxation. And he says, well, I, Desmond Silverscreen, know it's a little strange to talk about on the podcast, but I was thinking about getting into dancing.
The wheels, I think the lights start to flicker and flick like red and green and purple, and the wheel starts to spin faster and faster and faster, and like everything starts to twirl and like dancing. And
I think with that, Bradley is gonna try. He's going to like take a breath and settle into this like deep knowledge that he feels a lot of shame for having because he accidentally killed someone to get it. But this deep core of dance talent honed over the years by this like 60-year-old dance instructor that he's borrowed it from, and is going to try combining his actual dancing with the power that I borrowed from this anomaly earlier to shift the chaos that is starting from this anomaly into a like followable for him like rhythm to begin a sort of like ballet performance too.
I think that happens. And I think that what is unfolding, and you can decide if you want to roll to resist this or how you want to react to it. But I think this is a crucial part of the anomaly is as you are dancing, those photos on the wall start to redevelop into a different thing. Mm-hmm. And they are you. There's like a YouTube window with 10 trillion views, and there is, a licensing deal for a brand of dancing shoes, and it's all the ways that you can take this dancing and turn it into profit, into content. It is all the ways that you could profit off of this.
I want to use my presence, and if it's okay, I want to roll and see how it goes before I say why.
Okay.
And I got 1 3, but I have a bunch to spend, so I'm going to spend 2 of those to make it stable.
Okay.
I have 3 presence. I'm going to spend 2 to make it stable. So at 3 threes, I don't activate Transcendence, but you don't get any chaos. I'm going to stabilize this situation, and with my presence, I'm going to pull on the agency's help to bolster everything I've combined on this mission so far. This like weird amalgam I've made of myself, of this like confidence from the police officer, this like dance power that I managed to steal for, this performance power I managed to steal from the anomaly itself, and now this dance that I am doing. And Bradley's going to start kind of narrating as he dances. This dance is about how sometimes something very big can make you feel very excited and important and strong. He's like doing a little twirl. This is not a super artful situation, despite the presence. But that pressure can create a heat that is very dangerous. And in fact, and he does like a little like duck down and then a little like spread of his arms. Sometimes the most important creations are just for you, for an audience of nobody at all. For a fun image, I think he does a little twirl on the pottery wheel as it spins, hops up, spins.
That's
on
great.
It.
I love that. I do want to spend my last chaos. I think you have connected with this anomaly. I think like it is like the podcast zombies have like collapsed. I think that like it's focusing more just on the dance and like that chaos and those moments of temptation and that grinding things into content has just changed into like lights that complement the sound and like a musical accompaniment to the dance, and like it's all perfect. And I think that like as this is happening, this is actually a really nice moment because I know that the end of this is supposed to be bittersweet, and so your next decision is going to be bittersweet because that door swings open and dancing with a beauty and grace that you have never seen him dance before is Jerry, your boyfriend, and the two of you like effortlessly slide into a couple's dance together.
Jerry steps in and there's a confusion on my face, but because Jerry is dancing, I'm like, okay, the anomaly's doing this. I'm gonna have to explain this later maybe, but I start dancing with him. As I dance with him, do I sense that the anomaly is like piloting him very directly? Like, do I feel an energy from that? Or
I think what you feel is that like the anomaly drew him to this place with the desire to create.
Yeah.
And because you are dancing, like, because it's just been pulling anyone into this space with a need to create, and because you've been pushing it and communicating with it through dance, like that desire to dance fed into his mind, and that
yes, I'm realizing that because of my name tag, he thinks I'm Desmond. So maybe I won't have to explain this. He thinks he's dancing with a child star. I'm going to dance along with him, and I'm going to try to like keep that up and sort of like dance with him as I feel the energy around. And as the stuff kind of calms down, I am going to try to roll attentiveness to have the agency maybe help me sense where the anomaly is, like where the closest thing to its form might be, like what it's hiding in, or what object it is here, if I can.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
I'm going to roll. I have 2 threes, so that gives you 4 chaos. Or no, I'll spend it. I'll keep that chaos away. I've got so much now that I can be a little more careful. I'm going to spend 1 attentiveness to make it stable. And I'm going to try to get the agency to help me just like be able to feel through this music if there is like a resonance around. That's very powerful or specific.
Sorry, say that last part again.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I want to see if the agency can help me. You know, the music is playing, but if through that or through the vibrations of the sound, I can be guided toward the strongest spot of like anomalous resonance energy in this.
I think, yes. I think that, like, as that happens, like, you feel, I think, like, that feeling washes over you, right? Like, it's almost an AMSMR feeling washes over your entire body as you realize it's all of it. It's every inch of this workshop. It's not the whole building. It's this workshop. And so, like, the most direct place, if you were to try and, like, pull it into a briefcase or aim your gun at it, you would just literally aim it at the door.
Yeah, I would remove the whole workshop from existence. As this dance happens, I'm going to try to, like, lead Jerry out of the workshop itself, outside of the room.
I think the two of you effortlessly dance outside of the workshop.
And then I am going to tap into the performance control to sort of gently nudge Jerry to dance on his own for a second. And I'm
does a beautiful solo.
as he does a beautiful pop and lock solo, I'm gonna pull the briefcase out, turn the dials, unlock it, and aim it at this door and crack it open. Try to see if I've calmed it enough to lure it in.
You have calmed it enough to lure it in. You do that, and sure enough, you hear a small explosion. You hear the bursting of a light bulb from the other room, as those microwave light bulbs, which had just like blow out, like the lights blow out. A bunch of photos being developed start to sizzle, and like a bunch of the art dissolves away.
And Bradley plants his feet and holds as he as the stuff gets destroyed and sucked towards him, tries to keep it stable.
Everything gets sucked into the briefcase. Desmond is screaming, not in pain or in fear, but in rage of like, what the hell kind of amateur hour operation? And sure enough, moments later, there is a brick wall sitting in front of you. A door, like a false door leading to a brick wall sitting in front of you. A bunch of art and an anomaly have been sucked into the briefcase. Half of the co-working space is demolished, and you are alone. Like, Jerry is sitting there confused, like, what in the hell?
I'm gonna try to very quickly, while everybody's stunned, rip off the name tag so that there's not a double of Desmond sitting there.
What the hell just happened? Hey, babe,
Jerry.
What are you doing here?
Oh, work stuff. I am. Oh gosh, it's a really long story, but I'm helping out a famous kid today. Speaking of which,
hey, can we get out of here? This is garbage. This is Garbo, and I'd like to leave.
Hey. What do you mean? You're not gonna do the event anymore?
I mean, look at this place. It's barely put together. This is not worth my time. I do not want to be seen with this. If anybody posts a picture of this online, I will sue you.
Hey, I'm going to try to... I haven't used empathy yet. I'm going to try to use empathy to communicate with him. And the main thing I'm asking the agency for is to basically lock his attention on me. Because he's he's scattered. I'm going to try to get his attention locked on me so that he'll listen. Single 3. So I'll spend 2.
All right.
Burn through them. Spend 2 just to stabilize it. And I'm going to say, hey, Desmond. This whole thing was about changing potentially your angle, right? This is very strange that this happened to this building, but I couldn't possibly know why. But if you take the time to, stick to what you said you were going to do and look supportive, it would be probably really good for your career, right?
Huh. All right.
And as a gift to him, I think I want to use my last burst of this performance control power that I have and try to get the crowd worked up again for him.
I think that is exactly what happens. The crowd is fired up. Jerry's there that's Desmond Silverscreen. Holy shit.
I'm kind of his bodyguard today.
Why did I dream I had a ballroom dance with... That doesn't, it was, he had your face.
That's really weird. I don't know
It's
why.
been a weird fucking day. I would like to go home. I told you I was starting to think about starting a podcast. That's probably a bad idea.
Yeah, just don't ask me to be on it.
And like goes off to watch the interview just in time for you to look in a mirror and see a big window that says join with voice or listen only.
And after all this, we see Bradley now with his shoulders up, his confident posture that he's borrowed all day, but still this like exhausted look in his face, and he taps connect with voice. Hello?
I
did it.
Thank you for containing this potentially dangerous anomaly. We are unfortunately forced to give you 3 demerits for one noted loose end in the form of Roy Brickby. However, your final score, your final success scale still ranks at a B-.
Oh, that's better than... Actually, I think that's my best score so far. So... And I'm going to try to see if I can like push the briefcase into the mirror. I'm at this point, I'm like, does this work?
It does. It feels a little bit like you're pushing it through a wall of Jell-O, but it does go through. And flying out the other side at such a high speed that it almost either shatters or like catches you in the head is an official Triangle Agency mug.
I'm gonna catch it if I can. Let's roll a quick initiative. Let's see. 1-3 -1. I failed to catch it.
Please enjoy your official Triangle Agency mug. It is completely shattered on the ground. And please stay tuned for future assignments.
I'll stay
Until
tuned.
next time, Agent.
Yeah, about the promotion next time, I guess. Next time.
And that's Gabe.
That was so fun. What a good anomaly.
That was great.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for preparing that. It's crazy. This is only my second time as a player, so it's always a blast.
So I will give the 30-second rundown of what went into that anomaly from a behind-the-screen standpoint.
Oh, yes.
Anomalies are made up of 5 things. A focus, which is what the obsession that drives most of its actions are. The focus here was the desire to create. The impulse is how it acts in service of its focus. The answer here is it brings your imagination to life on a bed of flesh and suffering.
Very scary.
The domain was the workshop within the co-working space.
Mm-hmm.
Its history, which was not revealed, but bared out just by the bodies of the victims, was that it came to life by the shared passion of the people having invested in the co-working space, but the first people it encountered were the various venture capitalists that were financing this thing. So it became corrupted by capitalism, and it started delivering those things in the form of dead body art.
Honestly, my favorite thing about making anomalies in this game is how often that, like the work that you did of like figuring out the history, comes out in these like weird details of the anomaly that sometimes the agents can never put together 100%, but that emulates what it feels like to engage with like SCP fiction too, in a way that I really like.
That's and its appearance was in the form of various forms of art made up of dead bodies.
And they were all beautiful.
That ruled. Thank you so much for playing this with me. That was a delight.
Yes, thank you. That was so good. And every bit as fun as I hoped it would be.
So real quick, before we wrap up, where can people find you and your work and Triangle Agency online?
Yes, absolutely. So if you're looking for me talking online, Twitter is still the best place for maybe for a while. Who knows, between now and when this comes out.
Yeah, I mean, if it still exists.
Yeah, it'll be there, which is at CZaneh. CZaneh. And if you want something completely different from me, other than designing games, my like other work is that I am a children's author and I write books for middle school kids. So you can find some of those by looking at me there. And I recommend if you're looking for anything Triangle Agency, you check out hauntedtable.games. That website will have links to everywhere all the time. I actually just, at time of recording, just updated in the new website today. And there will be links to everything you could possibly want with Triangle Agency. An important thing to know is even if we're in the middle of the campaign or before the campaign, we have a demo version that we just played with some additions that I added for having a slightly higher, a character built out a little further than you start out, that you can play called the Delta Test. It's on itch. It's completely free. It's like 90 pages. It is, I'm super, super proud of it and think it's really, really fun. And you can play that version for one shots. And it gives you everything you get from like your first session of the game, like this. And then the full game builds out character progression, and not to dig too far into it, because I think the act of reading the rulebook and playing the game is part of it. But a big thing I want everybody to be ready for and be excited about is that the game itself is built so that the act of character progression is a series of choices about who your agent is going to be and how they are going to leave a mark on the world. And by the time you are ready to retire a character, you will know exactly what impact they will have on the universe that you have created. And we are hoping that you will be able to play many characters in Triangle Agency, even for the same place, and sort of see the lineage of your previous characters as you do that. So I am really, really excited for that stuff, and think that the game is way bigger than it even looks at this point.
That all makes me, this game rules. I'm going to stop gushing about it and end the episode, but truly know that I could spend a lot more time gushing about it. But instead, what I'm going to do is just say thank you for playing this with me. Thank you for coming on the show. And now I'm going to throw it over to me in the future so that he can wrap things up. Take a future me. Thanks, past me. And thanks again to Caleb for coming on the show. That was legitimately one of my favorite games I've played in a long time. That was so unbelievably fun and like thematically and mechanically. It hit all of the buttons that I wanted it to press. I am so delighted with how that game went, and I absolutely could not be happier. Be sure to head to hauntedtable.games to learn more about Triangle Agency. Be sure to head to the Kickstarter to back the game and help make it a reality. And be sure to follow Caleb on Twitter at CZaneH. Then while you're on Twitter, follow us at Party of One Pod. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/partyofonepodcast. Find us on TikTok at Party of One Podcast. Find us on Tumblr at Party of One Pod. Subscribe to our newsletter at buttondown.email/partyofonepodcast. And join our Discord community at bit.ly/partyofonediscord. If you enjoy the show, there's a lot of ways to support it. You can support us financially at patreon.com/JeffStormer or ko-fi.com/JeffStormer. You can give us a nice iTunes review, shout us out to a friend, give us some love on social media. You can buy some Party of One merch at bit.ly/partyofonemerch. Or if you're looking for more great podcast content, you can check out All My Fantasy Children, which is a character creation, storytelling, and world-building podcast that I make with my best friend in the world, Aaron Catano-Saez. We take a listener-submitted prompt and spin it into an original fantasy character, populating a shared universe one story at a time. You can also check out Yazeba's Bed and Breakfast, which is an actual play about a heartless witch, a cozy house, and the many people making their homes inside. Both of those you can find wherever you get your podcasts. Party of One is, as always, produced and edited by Jeff Stormer and Jen Frank. Music for the show comes from the song Infinite Lives by Mega Ran featuring the D&D Sluggers, and the Party of One logo is by Evan Rowland. If you'd like to inquire about advertising rates, coming on the show as a guest, or about press coverage of the show, you can email me at partyofonepodcast@gmail.com. And unless I am mistaken, that is all we do here. So until next time, thank you so much for listening. Remember to fight the forces of fascism every single day. Remember that self-love and self-care are radical and defiant acts of resistance. And as always, party on, everybody.